Now, in the film community, we have a couple of phrases that we like to use, right? One of them being, it's not as good as the book, and another one being, it's not as good as the original, or it's not as good as the first one. And I hate to admit it, folks, but I have to use that second phrase on the hitman's wife's bodyguard, and let me tell you why. Hey everyone, my name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic, and today I'm going to give you my honest, no BS review for the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button to join our community, and also follow my partners at Movie Scene Canada. Their link will be in the description box below. So, we have the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Now, I will admit that I saw the first one only for the first time a couple days ago in preparation for watching this one. And I'll be honest, I enjoyed that movie. I thought it was funny, I thought it was action-packed, and it was great chemistry between Samuel L. Jackson and Ryan Reynolds. It was a solid action movie. Did it need a sequel? Well, if you ask me, I would say no, but we got one. And unfortunately, this entry to the new franchise suffers from sequelitis. This is basically the first film packaged a little bit differently, right? You have some different characters, a different take on things, but it's not as action-packed and it's not as funny. And I understand that saying it's not as funny is not the most in-depth point of criticism to make, but I gotta be honest with you guys. I did not laugh as much in this film as I did in the last one. But let's be honest, guys. Doing a comedy sequel is very tough to do because comedy is spontaneous and unexpected. As soon as you make a sequel, the audience already knows what they're getting into. They know what types of jokes that they need to expect. They know what characters they're gonna see. They know the vibe going into it already. And it's very hard to recapture that magic and recapture that same level of comedy and make the audience laugh more. It's a very hard thing to do. Many comedy sequels have tried. Many of them have failed, and unfortunately this one does not live up to the first film either in the comedy realm. However, this is an action comedy, so how are the action scenes? I will admit that they are good, but again, there are not as many of them, and I would say that they're not as great as the first movie. There are some good ones in here, but again, not as good as the first. But I will say this, and this goes for both of these movies. They have sort of a Kingsman feel. Now, I can't take credit for that. My sister actually said that, but I agree with her, right? The explicit, raunchy comedy, the over-the-top violence and stylish action sequences, and just the random use of pop songs, right? There's an action scene in this movie to Tina Turner's The Best. Again, why they chose that song, I don't know. It is a great song, but it does have that Kingsman feel. So if you guys like the Kingsman movies, then I do think you should check out The Hitman's Bodyguard and maybe check out this one if you really like those types of movies. But again, guys, I'm just telling you that this most recent one did not really work for me because not only did everything work better in the first one, but Antonio Banderas and the overall chemistry between Ryan Reynolds, Salma Hayek, and Samuel L. Jackson, there's something a bit off there. But first of all, Antonio Banderas is our new villain. He is wickedly reserved in this movie. I just want him to get unleashed, right? This is the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. This comedy is just completely out there. The action scenes are over the top, but yet he is so reserved. It feels like he's in a totally different movie, a complete dud. And just like the first film, man, that plot is thin. And the villain's motivation, oh man, it is just one line. I want to make Greece great again. That's all we get. And lastly, the overall chemistry between the actors. Now, I like Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson together. They work well off each other. But as soon as you put Salma Hayek in there, I thought that her and Ryan Reynolds had good chemistry. Her and Samuel L. Jackson have some good chemistry. But together, the way that they treat Ryan Reynolds' character, he is the complete butt end of every single joke. I'm like, I just don't like this vibe. I do not want to go on an adventure or a mission with these characters where our main hero is just considered to be just trash. And you can have them disagree with one another, have them argue with each other, that's fine. But just this vibe felt very uneasy to me. It was not a group that I wanted to go on the adventure with. So unfortunately, I'm gonna give The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard a 2 out of 5. Again, I laughed at a couple scenes. The chemistry overall, it's pretty lighthearted, and the action scenes are still pretty well done. But again, guys, I've seen better movies than this. I've seen funnier movies than this. I've seen funnier action comedies than this. I've seen funnier action comedy sequels than this. It's just okay. So guys, have you seen The Hitman's Bodyguard? Tell me what you thought. Have you seen The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard? Tell me what you think. And do we want to see The Hitman's Wife's Nephew's Bodyguard, or whatever that third movie might be? Do you guys want to see a third movie? I'd love to know, and I'd love to see you guys in the next video, so make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you there.